All right, here we go. Game 4. And here is our current leader, MarineKing, up 2-1 on the right side of the map in the yellow. The Team Prime. Again, his name is MarineKing, in case you guys didn't know that. And on the left side of the map, we have our Zerg player again from the Team Complexity MVP. It is DongRaeGu, a fearsome Zerg player.
The Terran Killer, as they call him in Korea.
The final boss, he's sometimes called by the Western fans.
He is the final boss, man.
MarineKing's just MarineKing, though. He doesn't really have many other nicknames.
Yeah, I mean, people used to call him Boxer because his old ID was actually Boxer because he really looked up to Boxer. He's someone that you guys, I'm sure, have all heard of, talking about the Emperor Slayer's Boxer.
Not like an actual boxer who like punches people for a living.
So MarineKing on this map is going to have to play this game out very carefully. There are less counterattack paths on the new version of this map than there were before, but even so, it's kind of difficult for the Terran player to take a third base because the third base isn't connected, so he has to walk around a little bit to go and protect it. There's a high ground area near that, so you can kind of use to help defend it, but it's very difficult. Counterattacks can be quite strong.
Now, an interesting little fact about the new version of this map is that as Terran, you can actually wall off your choke with just a supply depot and a barracks. You don't even need 3 buildings. The way MarineKing put it down, there is actually a little gap there, but it is possible to wall it off with just 2 buildings if you put everything just 1 hex forward from where he has it.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting.
I think he just realized it too. He's actually sending his SCV back and forth to test it. I think he's really, oops.
Yep.
Makes the wall off a little bit weaker. Not too important though. It's just it's one of the advantages he could have gotten from this map, but
you know, I gotta say though, on the maps without ramps, it is a little bit difficult to kind of figure out where to exactly put your buildings to.
Yeah, sometimes it can be tricky.
This change is pretty recent too, so he probably doesn't have quite as much experience. Scantipedes though, man, they know everything.
Scantipedes on this map actually were the ones behind the change. What happened was everyone went to sleep, and the Scantipedes came out at night, and they changed the map. They put DongRaeGu watchtowers in. They removed some of the counterattack pathways.
Planted some trees.
Planted some trees. They took out the high ground area. I don't know. They clawed it away.
They put on their little Scantipede hard hats. Got their tiny little Scantipede backhoes.
And nobody knows why. You know, nobody knows why the Scantipedes have done this.
It's just one of the amazing things about Scantipede behavior.
Yeah. Scantipedes just, they're a mystery, but sometimes they do good things, and I'll always appreciate that. So we see that MarineKing is actually not going for a reactor here. He's making an additional Marine, and as our observer is highlighting, going for 1 Hellion right off the bat. Probably going to be making his command center a little bit faster.
Yeah, generally if you're going for that reactor and Hellion, you only make 2 Marines, and then you can make your reactor shortly afterwards.
Yeah, there's the command center going down.
You know, when they took out that high ground, they revealed blue crystals by the Terran base.
Yeah, they did.
Like giant mineral statues. I wonder if you could get something out of this someday.
Well, players respect those crystals are actually sacred to the Scantipedes.
That's kind. Great diversity.
Now he's actually making a tech lab here, so it looks like there's many different things we could see. I think we're going to see Blue Flame, and in fact there it is.
Yeah. Alright.
Putting on a little bit of pressure here. He's going to be careful. Doesn't want to get his Marines caught. And with that spine finishing up, he's just going to go home. He knows Zergling speed's almost done. He doesn't want to get caught there.
Now, the Blue Flame nerf doesn't make as big of a difference for TVZ and TVP as it does for TVT. In Terran versus Zerg, Blue Flame Hellions without upgrades can still 2-shot Zerglings. And with +1, they can 2-shot drones. So it's still a very useful upgrade in this matchup.
Yeah, it's very useful, especially against Zerglings. It's the most important reason to have in this matchup.
Absolutely.
And that Overlord is going to get away, just barely.
Marines are like, oh.
Oh, look at that.
Oh.
That was a close call, man. But with that many Hellions, DongRaeGu decided he didn't want to go in there anyways.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, the orbital's been done, or the command center rather has been done from MarineKing for a little bit. He's making his orbital now. And adding 2 more barracks. He wants to control the map with these Marines and Hellions, but he's going to do it in a careful way. Doesn't want to get counterattacked. Like I said, this map is the map of counterattacks.
Yeah,
so many different pathways you can take.
It's that, and it just seems relatively small, you know, too. I mean, compared to some of the other maps we have, you do really need to worry about it. You need to make sure that every push you do is defensible, you know? You don't want to really throw it all out there unless you're all in anyway, and it doesn't matter, but...
In most cases, you want to just patiently take the towers and hold them, and kind of react to where your opponent's army is to make your next moves. And DongRaeGu actually is going to see this push with that.
Marines were like pushing him backwards or something. Oh,
and with the watchtower, you got the Overlord there.
Yep.
Now this push is going to be pretty easy for DongRaeGu to defend. He's already got a spine up. He's got another one on the way. He's got multiple ones on the way. He's got queens, 3 queens. He's got a decent amount of Zerlings. His Baneling Nest is almost done. He's going to lose some tumors here, but holding this attack is actually not going to be too much of a challenge for him. There's no way for the Hellions to really sneak by. And MarineKing realizes this. It looks like he's just going to go home. And he's just like, well, that's just what I have to do.
That's good. I mean, that's exactly how that's a great way to play TVP. I mean, in the early stages of the game like this, the purpose shouldn't be necessarily to do damage. The purpose should mostly just be to hinder your opponent. You know, make sure they can't spread creep. That's a huge deal.
Zerg players have to decide between making attacking units and larva. Make sure you can't spread creep, and even that alone makes them much more afraid to take a third base. It's much more difficult to secure that third base. And the Terran's got map control. So you can see MarineKing is always very interested in holding those towers. Can't get that second Overlord though, because DongRaeGu realizes his first one's a little too close. Now DongRaeGu is going to go for a 2-base Spire here to try to get that map control back, to try to keep MarineKing back in his base, but it's kind of a risky move. But what other choice does he have when he's pinned in his base like this? He doesn't even really have creep out there. It's something he's got to do.
Yeah. Oh, and as you can see again, just moving in, just taking care of those creep tumors when they get spawned. Wouldn't be surprised at all to see a scan there come down.
He could actually potentially attack his own Hellions in Europe as well. There he goes.
Oh, it's a good too, yeah. Oh, another creep tumor there. Hidden behind the tree.
Yeah, DongRaeGu thought he could get away with that, but MarineKing said, no, I know your plan. And MarineKing's actually playing really well today.
Yeah, he is.
He's
online.
Yeah, he's giving DongRaeGu a run for his money with these really nice pressure tactics.
Well, this is some of the best TVs you have seen from MarineKing long time.
Look at this micro, targeting down the Banelings, taking a lot of hits on this Hellions, but he just has so many of them. It's okay, the Marines are doing the real damage, and this is not looking good for DongRaeGu. The spines are getting very low, the Hellions just doing extra damage to these queens. The drones are being pulled here to avoid the remaining Hellions.
And look at this with some reinforcements from MarineKing. There's
even bring a Marauder, man. Yeah, DongRaeGu's in trouble.
Yeah, not a lot that he can do at this point. Going to come in and try to kill some more drones.
He will eventually hold this because the Broodlings are going to come out of that hatchery. Most of these Marines are very low on hit points. Yeah. He's going to eventually hold this, but he's losing so many units right now.
Oh, some medevacs coming in though. Oh, never mind.
GG. DongRaeGu concedes, man.
Wow, so MarineKing up 3-1. MarineKing is 1 game away from winning Arena of Legends.
This could be his first GSL victory. Tell your friends to get, like, text your friends are like sleeping right now, or they're like, well, I'm just going to watch the VOD. Be like, no, history may be happening here tonight.
Yeah, you don't want to miss it.
Don't want to miss that.
If you are watching the VODs right now, if this is the future, you're watching the VODs, make sure to tell your friends, hey, watch Arena of Legends. It's amazing.
Okay,
I'm not going to spoil it for you.
Exactly. Don't spoil it for them, or else they're not going to watch it.
We'll have to see if that actually happens or not. I mean, DongRaeGu could come back, but he's got some work to do.
Yeah, DongRaeGu fans, I want to get on Twitter, start tweeting about it, telling your friends, trying to get the DongRaeGu supporters out.
Yep, that's right.
No, there's probably some viewing parties out there, so if any of you guys are at a viewing party right now, it's awesome. More people should do those.
Yes, absolutely. I always did that with my friends back home. We would always
me too, man.
Have some pizza, have some beverages, watch some GSL on like a big 96-inch projector in my friend's apartment. It's a lot of fun.
I went to a university near my university, Georgia Tech University, and we would have viewing parties for OSL and GSL finals on this giant projector. It was awesome to get pizza, hang out with some StarCraft nerds.
Yeah.
You guys should do that too, man.
Nothing more fun than pizza, drinks, and friends at 4 a.m. watching some StarCraft.
Absolutely. Yeah. We're going to take a 5-minute break, guys. We'll see you in 5
minutes.